they understand it. They don't know your story.
I'm going to tell you about my life support experience. In November of 2012, around Thanksgiving, I started to catch a cold. I called my doctor and got some medication from the pharmacy. So I took that medication and thought, okay, well, I'll take this and I'll get better. But I was excited because this was my first year hosting Thanksgiving at my home. Well, the day before Thanksgiving, I went to the grocery store, picked up some last minute things, and me and my sister was going to cook that night. Well, my sister called, to let me know she was still coming, and I had told her, well, I'm not feeling too well, I can't breathe, so I'll call you back. So I was getting a little out of breath. I had just did a breathing treatment, so I went to go take a shower to see if I take a shower and lay down, take a nap, maybe I'll feel okay. So after that, after I got out the shower, I went and laid down, but I was more out of breath than I was when I got in. So I tried to do another breathing treatment. Well, it began to get worse. I was really out of breath. By this time, my husband at that time was coming in the house, and I had told him I'm really out of breath. Like I can't catch my breath. The treatment's not working. I have no choice but to go to the hospital. And I really panicked because I have really bad asthma, and I know that I would have got admitted, so I was trying to prevent from being admitted in the hospital on Thanksgiving. Because who wants to be in the hospital on Thanksgiving, right? Well, after maybe 3 or 4 minutes or so, my husband had called 911. They all came and was asking me what's wrong, but I was just getting worse and worse by the second. And I mean by the second. And before I knew it, I really could not breathe. Even with the treatments they was giving me while they was there. I was on 8 liters of oxygen, which is the most you can have. So, of course, to the hospital I was going. So I was getting on the EMS, and I remember telling them I can't breathe, I can't catch my breath, like I just couldn't. And he said to me, well, you got on 8 liters of oxygen, we're going to get you to the hospital as soon as possible. At that point, I started to really panic, and it got real scary. As I was leaving out of the parking lot, and I realized that I was on 8 liters of oxygen, I couldn't breathe, it wasn't getting no better. At that moment, I thought life was over. I remember looking up out the window at the sky, and this was at night, and I just closed my eyes and I started praying, because I thought there's no coming back, because I'm about to die. That's what was in my head at that moment. So I got to the hospital. I don't remember anything as far as, I don't even remember getting to the hospital. I don't even remember after closing my eyes and praying. What I do remember is waking up, and the first person I seen was my youngest sister, And I remember telling her I wanted to go home. And she looked at me funny, like it wasn't possible. And I didn't understand. So she left out, and my mom came in, and she was trying to explain to me that I was very sick. And that I had just come off life support. And I didn't understand at that time why was I on life support and what happened. And so she started to explain to me what happened. I was placed on life support because my breathing had got worse. My lungs failed. I had pneumonia and the flu. While on life support, my kidneys also began to fail. I also received a blood transfusion. When my kidneys failed, I did have to go through dialysis. It was all new to me. And I remember asking my mom if I can get up and go to the bathroom. And she said, "You don't need to get up." And I was still didn't understand why I couldn't get up. And then I realized that I couldn't move my arms, my legs, or nothing. And it was difficult because I was only in my late 20s. And I didn't know if I would never be able to move anything again, do anything on my own. Did I now have to depend on people or what? And as I lay there, all I could think of is, why me? Why am I going through this? But then I heard a voice say, "You're going to be okay. I got you." And my attitude changed from that day forward, because God let me live when I should have been dead. I was on life support for approximately 2 weeks. I got off of life support on December 8th. 3 days before my birthday. And it changed my life forever. But I'm so thankful to be here today. And this was my first time being on life support. And I didn't know that I would turn around and be on life support again in a few years. But that's for another time. I made this video to reach people, to let people know that God is still in control. He's still making miracles. He loves us in spite of everything we've done. No one is perfect. And we have to do better as people. We have to love one another while we're here. And life is just too short for drama, for just unnecessary stuff. We also need to get right with God. And you don't have to be perfect. God knows I'm not. I'm far from it. Far from it. There's a lot of things that I personally need to get together. They needed to get together at that time. And no matter what you've done wrong, He will never leave you nor forsake you. Life support has taught me so many lessons, and how you will begin to realize who's real in your life, who's not real in your life, who your true friends are, even down to family. I had a lot of family support. I had an outpouring of love on Facebook when I was able to get back on there. And I was so surprised at how many people was praying for me. Because there was times where I was down and I was depressed and no one knew it. Because I walked around with a smile on my face, but hurt in my heart. But just know that God loves you. He does. And no matter what nobody says, God loves you and He'll never leave you. And if He did it for me, He can do it for you. And my reason for starting this channel was to reach people. Because a lot of people nowadays don't want to live in their truth. A lot of people, have a mask on, and they don't want to tell their story. But I'm telling my story because I know it'll help somebody. I don't care if it only helped 2 people in the whole entire world. Then that means my video did what it was supposed to do. It helped somebody. And I will be making more videos about my experience after my first time. I will make another video on my second life support experience. And if there's something you would like to see, not nothing outrageous, but if there's something you would like to see, just let me know. Or a story that you would like to hear. Because all I want to do is help people. I feel like God let me live to tell this story, to help people. And I just want to, that's what I want to do, live in my purpose. Thank you for watching. And remember, God loves you and He'll never leave you nor forsake you. Have a blessed day.